Joining me in the studio now is Florian Lennert. He's from the Innovation Center for Mobility here in Berlin. Thank you very much for being with us today. All right, well, PAVs sound like a great idea in theory, but how realistic are they? Are we eventually going to see highways in the sky?
I think we will. I think in the next 20 or 30 years, we will at least partially have services of that kind operating. And I think that advances in construction engineering, lightweight materials, and the design of these craft will allow us to actually bring them to the market quite rapidly.
All right, but just in terms of safety, I mean, what are we looking at? We're also talking about, noise and accidents. What are the biggest challenges to such an idea?
Well, I think you've just summed them up. It's very much safety. The question of how we actually control air traffic three-dimensionally in a close urban environment is essential, and probably we will have to find autonomous flight automation systems to do that. Noise is another big issue that is always sensitive. So I think there's some research we'll still have to go into fixing that. But the other problem is also issues such as liability and insurance. Who's actually to blame when two autonomous vehicles collide?
I can imagine premiums would definitely skyrocket if this project came to fruition. Now, you had a project called Intelligent City, which is eventually cities that rely on only renewable sources of energy. So would moving traffic into the skies fit into this model?
It does. We have now found ways to also operate these ultralight aerial vehicles with electric power, battery power, and hence can charge them with renewable energy. So they would simply add another component to a renewable energy system. Interestingly, air traffic already has actually a slightly better passenger mile energy consumption than car traffic does. And so particularly in countries like the United States, one is seriously looking at using aerial mobility systems to replace car traffic.
Well, and actually, that brings me to my next question. The internet giant Amazon is definitely looking at this model, but in drones to deliver packages, getting these products to customers in record time. What are your thoughts on this futuristic project?
Again, I think we will see that becoming reality much faster than we think, particularly with just the lightweight drone traffic. I think it does also solve a number of problems in areas where we don't yet have roads, so it's a nice way to deliver things in environments where there are no roads. Building new roads would take up a lot of more energy as well. So I think there are a lot of applications where drone delivery can make sense, and Amazon is indeed testing this at the moment in San Francisco, I believe.
Okay, well, looking back to look ahead, just over 100 years ago, Henry Ford introduced a car or developed a car that was meant to be affordable and to all the masses. Now, what can we expect in 100 years' time when it comes to modes of transportation?
I think we can be fairly certain that the private fossil automobile will have vanished as a transportation mode. I think we will see a mix of horizontal and vertical mobility in cities, probably electric, possibly also hydrogen-based, that is clean, and that also works in mobility on-demand systems rather than private vehicles that use up so much space in our cities.
All right. Well, we shall see. Perhaps some of these changes will take place in our time as well. Florian Lennert, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.